Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, welcome. I have a book haul today. I have a very large book haul today. Like literally I have over 30 books to show you. I did one of these, I want to say around the same time last year. It was probably a little bit later because I didn't start posting on my channel until like March or May. But I've done one of these before and it was just as large of a book haul because I have a book buying problem. So I have these hauls for you, and I like every year I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna buy tons of books. I'm just gonna read what I have and then I'm gonna buy books. Like I'm gonna replenish books as I read them, and that just never happens because I love shopping. I love book shopping in particular. I have a lot of books to show you. I also just want to say that this is like a list from Christmas to now. So like a lot of these books, not a ton of them, but like some of them I got for Christmas, so like I'm showing you them, but let's just get right into it. The first things I have to show you are books that I've read and that I have like special editions for. I don't know why I said special editions, they're literally special editions. And the first thing I have to show you is an entire series, and it's Harry Potter, which I got. You can kind of see them, but it's a lot of books. So let me see if I can line this up so that you can see the spines. These are, I don't think they were new editions when I got them. I think that they were like older, but they're just the prettiest editions of the books that I've seen. And my current Harry Potter books are like the normal ones that you see all the time with like the colored spines, and they're destroyed. Because if you guys know me, I went through this phase where I thought that like creasing, literally aggressively creasing the edges or the spines of my books was like cute, and like I thought that it was like, oh my god, like look at how much I'm destroying this book because like I loved it and I read it so much, and like it was just not cute. So I had to get like new ones, and also I saw these and I thought they were adorable. So you guys know Harry Potter, if you don't know, he's a wizard when he turns 11, and he's like a wizard, and he lived with his aunt and uncle and cousin because his parents got killed by Voldemort, which, yeah, that's all you need to know, really. Me and my boyfriend are doing a movie marathon, like we had just finished a movie marathon while I'm filming this, and it was so fun. We're gonna go backwards for covers because of like the way that it's set up here. So we have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. This is the front, and then this is the back. Super cool. I just really like the art on it because I haven't really seen anything like that before as far as like the way that they're drawn and stuff. It's very cartoonish and I really like it. And then we have the sixth one, which is Half-Blood Prince. Here's the cover, which if you know Harry Potter, you know like these moments. And then here's the back. Next we have Order of the Phoenix. Here's the front and the back. I don't know why I sounded like I was about to cry there. Please ignore me. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's Goblet of Fire. This one I'm like obsessed with. I think it's so cute. Like the front, it's so pretty. Like look at that. And then the back is pretty similar. I'm kind of upset that they chose the dragon part for both the front and the back. I would have liked the back to be the graveyard. That's just me. I think that would have been cool. Then we have Prisoner of Azkaban, which this is the front and the back. I'm not gonna like show you the in-depth front and back of like every single book that I show you. These are just like cool special editions, so I want to show you like what it is, which I didn't even know what was on them when I got them. I just saw the spines. I thought the spines were really cool. I thought that the cover art was gonna be like the same color and like pretty similar to the spine kind of vibe. Chamber of Secrets is also really cool. I just like how like vibrant the cover is. This is the front and this is the back. All of the backs are kind of this like blue tone, which is why I think that this would have been perfect for the graveyard. They're backwards. That's why. I was like, this doesn't look right because it's supposed to be this way. But anyway, this is Sorcerer's Stone. This is the first one. And I think it's really cool. Like it captures just, oh, Harry and his parents. So sad. But anyway, this is supposed to be this way. That's why I was like, literally I was looking at this and I was like, this makes no sense. Why did they do this like this? Next, we have some more special editions. This one I made, so I just want to show it to you because I think it's cool. But it's The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, and it's bedazzled. Oh my god, my nails, they match. This was like a trend on TikTok. Me and my sister bedazzled books when I went home for winter break, and I'm like so obsessed with it. It looks so good. I was originally gonna do the entire cover, but ASMR. Sorry, I feel like I'm gonna hate editing that, but anyway, this is what it looks like. It's like iridescent and it's so pretty, and you can see like it's raised obviously because it's got gems on it, but it's just so pretty, and I have it sitting on my bookshelf like this way. So I also have another edition of 7 Year Slip, and it's just the special edition like painted painted edges, like hardcover. And I originally thought that like the cover would have been like a little bit different, but it doesn't matter. It sits on my bookshelf like this way, and so like my special edition or my bedazzled one goes on top and it sits like this. And I really love it. I think it's so cute, and I'm glad I have a hardcover edition of 7 Year Slip because I didn't have one before, so. And I'm obsessed, which if you don't know what 7 Year Slip is about, it's about a girl who inherits an apartment from her aunt, and she goes to live there, and she falls in love with a man who is also living there, but like 7 years in the past or the future. I can't remember which one it is, but like basically it's hard to explain if you haven't read it, but the apartment is like 2 times existing at once, if that makes sense. I think it's 7 years in the past. And it's just a really, really cool concept. Like, I just really thought that was interesting. Next, I have a special edition of Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren, and this is like a childhood friends to lovers, second chance romance. It's so good. Like, genuinely love this book, and I think this book and Happy Place by Emily Henry is what made me fall in love with second chance romance. I love second chance romance, but only if they didn't cheat. It's basically gorgeous. So the hardcover is just like this deep green, and then it looks like that on the spine, but I just am obsessed with like the deep green of it, and it's just beautiful. And then here is the dust jacket on the outside, so it's them as adults basically in the book nook, and then here's the inside. It's them as children. It's so cute. Like, genuinely so cute. I'm obsessed. But look at them as kids. I love it. It's kind of disappointing that, like, I mean, obviously you could like use this part as the outside, but then like you wouldn't have the title on it, but I'm just obsessed. Also, did you know that Christina Lauren is not one person? Christina Lauren is two people named Christina and Lauren. I just found that out just now. Just right this very second. Oh my god, it's also signed. I didn't even know. Okay. This is like the most perfect edition, and I'm obsessed with it, and I just love it so much. I think it's gorgeous. I'm obsessed. The next thing that I got was for Christmas, and I'm obsessed, okay? It's the holiday editions with the holiday novella of the Caraval trilogy. How gorgeous. Oh my god, the sprayed edges. Oh my god. Look at, I'm so obsessed. Like, they don't really even look that Christmassy, which I love because I put them on my shelf all the time. They're just red. I'm obsessed. I'm literally obsessed. Okay, look. Here's Caraval. Here's what it looks like. All of these are the same. So like all the jackets or all the inside pages are the same. So it just looks like this. And then here's what the outside look like. It's just white with like red. And then there's a little different symbol on. I want to say there's a different symbol in every book, but not entirely sure. But yeah, all of the like inner stuff is the same, which is, my sister said she was disappointed. Like, she thought that they were gonna be different, but I don't even care. Okay, here's Legendary. Oh, just kidding. The little thing is all the same. Yeah, everything on the inside is the same, which is fine. But I just think it's so pretty. And then Finale, which I still haven't read yet, but. And then here's the holiday novella. The regular one I think is green, which I liked. Like, I like the dark green here, but I didn't like the outside, and obviously getting them together as a set is like way better. And then the back looks like this. But yeah, like I said, like literally everything on the inside is the same. But just the set together is so pretty. Like, you're kidding. This is gorgeous. The last thing that I have to show you is not necessarily a special edition, but they're my version of special editions because you can't get special editions for them. And like, if you find special editions for this book for less than like $300, hit me up, please. Please! I got hardcover versions of the Legend series because I never had hardcover versions, and remember I said I liked to crack the spines of books, and boy did I destroy those books. They're also so well loved. I was just looking at my last book haul, and I will say a lot of the books in this are like continuations of like series in that book haul, which I think is very interesting. But anyway, you can see in the background my Legend books, they're like the spines. Okay, if this is the book, the spine's like this. Because like they're well loved. They're very well loved. I've literally dropped one of them in the ocean before. Like, they're well loved. And they had 10th anniversary Fairy Loot editions of them, and they're not like the prettiest things, but I would love to have them. Like, so this is what they look like. Actually, I'll just put a picture up here of what they look like. They're really cool. Like, I won't lie, they're really cool. But they resell on eBay for like $200 and like up to $300, and it's only is it only the first 3, or no, it's all 4. So those editions are also like the only special editions that were like made and sold by the author and stuff. So like they're hard to find, and like obviously someday in the future, if they never make any more special editions of this series, I will buy them on eBay if I can find them for $200. I don't care. But like right now, I think I'm just gonna wait until like maybe they make new editions or something, like maybe because those were 10th anniversary, which was I think 2021 this came out. Those were not 10th anniversary editions, were they? So 2023, so that was 2 years ago. I definitely was reading books. I should have known that they came out with that. I'm really upset. I thought that was like way longer than that, but that's beside the point. And then I also have Rebel, which is the 4th book, like not a part of the original trilogy, but like a long epilogue. I have that in a hardcover, so I will never buy that in a paperback because the paperback doesn't have colored writing for like the different point of views, and I think that's the most fun part. Which, if you don't know what I'm talking about, in the first one, I think it's like yellow. Yeah, it's like a gold-ish color. It's really cool. I think it's really unique too. Like, I've never really seen that before. But yeah, and this is a YA dystopian series about a girl named June and a boy named Day who fall in love, even though Day killed her brother. Yay! But yeah, these aren't really special editions, but they're my special edition versions, and I wonder if I could like obviously not for like resale, like I would never sell them, but like I wonder if I could like find enough pictures of like the special editions and like make a dust jacket like out of paper for them. That would like be the special edition. I don't know. It's just how I feel. Okay, now that we got special, I feel like this is going to be a long video, but now that we got special editions out of the way, I'm just going to do like regular books that I have acquired, and I'm going to start with, I separated them into genres, but if there's some later on that would like fall into genres that I'd already shown, like just, I don't want to know, because I tried my best, I just don't know like technically which ones fall under which genres, like specifically. So we're gonna start with romance. First, I want to show you 2 books by the same author. The first one is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. Now, I never had this book, like I never owned it, but I have read it. It was just like my sister's copy that I read, so I finally got my own, which is really exciting. And this is basically, this is a STEM romance. This is like an enemies to lovers STEM romance where she has to like work in a lab with this guy, and like they don't really get along, but then they end up falling in love. And then the next one I have, which is a new release, and it's got sprayed edges, also by Ali Hazelwood, is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This is like brand new. This like literally just came out, and I'm kind of scared to like read it because it's so stiff and I don't want to crack the spine, but the cover is beautiful. This color scheme is giving Liv and Maddie from Liv and Maddie. I don't know why I said that. But here it is. This is a romance about a diver and like an Olympic diver and just like a swimmer. Synchronized swimmer? No, an Olympic diver, a diver and a swimmer. An Olympic swimmer and a diver. I don't know why I said synchronized swimming. That's so silly of me. Anyway, next up we have The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. This is a fall read. I thought it was the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, but it's actually The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. I thought I bought the pumpkin spice one because I think the pumpkin spice one is first and this one is second in the series, but it's okay. I think they're interconnected, so I don't think it's like that big of a deal. But the cover is really pretty. It's got like leafing on it, so it's like iridescent, which is, I don't know if that's like the right word, but it's a small town romance. And there's a little bit of a mystery aspect in here too, which is exciting. Okay, next we have Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. This book sounds so interesting. I've been wanting to read it for so long, but it's basically about a girl who loves true crime, like she loves hearing about crime, and she's so convinced that her new neighbor is a serial killer. And basically, I think they fall in love because she thinks that he's a serial killer, and like I don't think he actually is, but wouldn't that be crazy if he was? Okay, next we have Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. In my last book haul that I did, I got the first 2 books in this series, and then this one finally came out, so here it is. It's orange. The other 2 are like purplish, so, and blue, so this is definitely like an interesting step, but maybe the next one will be like yellow or something, or maybe it'll be like an ombre. I don't know. But this is the Barnes exclusive edition. I'm not entirely sure what's different in the Barnes exclusive. It might be like extended epilogue or something like that. That's usually what they are, like if they're not completely different like versions, like hardcovers or something. So, but this is a romance. This one's about the friend. So like in the first one, in Swift and Saddled, it was about this girl. I don't remember her name. I read a lot of books, guys. I can't. Emmy. And this one's about her friend Teddy. And I think her friend's gonna fall in love with the brother, or one of the brothers. So I think that's interesting. And I like her character. I really liked her character in the first book. I thought that she was like funny. So I'm excited for this. And I just think that the cover art's pretty. But I have to read Swift and Saddled before I read this one, obviously. So, okay. Next we have Love It First Book by Jen McKinley. I bought this as like a club book for me and my sister, and we still we didn't pick this month. We picked a different book that I'm going to show you. But it's honestly just like about a librarian and a man who likes books, I think falls in love. I think so. Don't quote me on that. Like, I know that I should be able to offer more about what a book is about if I've bought it, but I like to go into books a little bit blind and just kind of know like the general vibe, because I think it's more fun that way for me. So like, I say this all the time, like you might be thinking like, girl, she knows nothing about these random books that she bought. No, I know a little bit. I know the basis of what would get me into reading it, but I don't know anything more than that, just because if I knew anything more than that, I would not want to read it because I would think I would know too much. Next we have Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segura? I don't know. I got this because I got and read another book. Like, I read the whole series already. I'm gonna show it to you later on just because I did buy it recently, but yes, not all of these aren't books that I haven't read. I just really want to show you these books. But I got this because it kind of sounded like similar, and I was kind of like chasing the high of that book. So basically it's about rival archaeologists who have to like team up and go search on like an Aztec expedition, and they fall in love. And I just think that's so fun. And also Allie Hazelwood wrote like a thing about it, so, and I love her, so I feel like I had to get that. Next we have The Flat Chair by Beth O'Leary. This was recommended to me by my best reader friend Sarah, and she loves this book. I think it's super cute, but she loves this book so much, and it's literally about this girl and this guy who have never met each other. They share an apartment. They're on completely opposite schedules, and I think they're falling in love through like notes, which I think is interesting. So I'm excited because I think that that's such an interesting concept. Like, living with someone that you've never even met is like so funny to me. Anyway, and then the last romance book that I have on this list is Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. This is the second book in the Magnolia Parks universe, but the first book in the Daisy Hates series line of like following her. Daisy Hates is obsessed with Christian, who is obsessed with Magnolia, basically, is like what it is. And I think she's just kind of like pining for, or like fighting for Christian's love because he's obsessed with Magnolia, but Magnolia's with BJ. Like, it's this whole thing. Toxic romance. Might cry. And this is me and my sister's book club book this month, so this will probably be finished this month, but I had to show it to you because I did buy it recently for the book club. So next I have like the YA section. The first 2 books that I have to show you are the books that I was so excited about. I literally read, so this is a duology by Isabella Banez. I've never read her books before. I literally just picked this book up, What the River Knows. I don't even know. I might have seen it on TikTok and then I read it on Kindle and I was like, I'm obsessed obsessed with this, and I ran out and I bought both of these books. I made my sister go to like 2 different barns or something because I wanted like the exclusive editions because they were like 10 times prettier. And let me show you them, okay? I never took the sticker off one of them. Anyway, I will show you them because I cannot recommend this duology enough. So good. So this is what the inside looks like. It's hieroglyphs, and then this is what the side looks like. It's purple. It's gorgeous. And inside we have pictures of our characters, both paper covers, and then this is what the dust jacket looks like. It's so pretty. The spines are gorgeous. Like this I love. I think it's so pretty. It looks pretty similar to the regular editions. I think it's blue in the regular editions, or maybe the other one's blue in the regular editions. I'm not entirely sure. And then this is the second one, also the Barnes exclusive. This one is gray, I believe. It's a little bit dirty because I actually read this and I got like pencil on it or something, but inside art, I'm like, I can't even. So pretty. Anyway, okay, so this is about a girl named Inez who her parents are exploring in Egypt, and she doesn't get to spend a lot of time with them because they're in Egypt, and she lives with her aunt and her cousins. And then she gets this letter that her parents have died, and she is like, I need to go to Egypt right now. So then she goes by herself and meets up with her uncle, not married to the aunt, like different uncle, and basically convinces him to like let her stay and like be a part of these expeditions because she's been like wanting to do that her entire life, and like wanting to be a part of like her parents' work and like be a part of like finding they're looking for Cleopatra's tomb. Basically it's a historical romantasy because there is a romance between Inez and Wit, who is like the assistant to the uncle, and there's a romance. The first book's definitely better than the second book, I think, just because I think the second book kind of went a little crazy, but it was good. Like, it was still really good and I really enjoyed it, and I cannot recommend this duology enough. It's YA and genuinely so good. Like, the romance in here is so good. Their banter is amazing. The mystery aspect, I was on the edge of my seat while I was reading this. I was like, what is gonna happen next? I need to know. Literally so great. I loved that and I can't recommend it enough. Then I got House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. This is a YA book about a house on a sea, and I think it's like a fantasy and like found family trope. My sister gave me this, so I'm excited to read it. I think she read it and she thought it was good, so that's why she got it for me. Next, I have Delirium by Lauren Oliver, and this is a YA dystopian book about basically love being illegal, and like they try and like lobotomize them to like take their feelings away or like their love away. And like basically this girl obviously is like in love with her boyfriend, so she doesn't want to like get her lobotomized to like not love him, so then she kind of like I think runs away with him. And I started reading this. Yeah, I have a bookmark in here actually, 4 chapters in. Never finished it, but I did get it. Okay, next is Unwind by Neal Shusterman. Now, I own Scythe by Neal Shusterman, and I really love that series. I love that book, so that's why I got this. Also, I think this was a BOGO with Delirium, so I love a good BOGO 50. And if there's a BOGO, like, you have to get a second book. But this is, I think about how they like, this is dystopian, YA dystopian. My favorite genre is dystopian. Literally love it so much. Ugh, there's not enough good dystopian books out there. I need like a resurgence of the dystopian genre because I'm obsessed. So basically it's like a dystopian book about like you can get your kids unwound if like you don't want to deal with them, which I think is literally what happens to like one of the main characters. They like their family like doesn't want to deal with them, so they get them like unwound to basically like organ donation for like the wealthy. Moving on. That's basically what this book is about, and I think it's interesting. Like, it's definitely an interesting concept. It's crazy. I mean, it's dystopian. That's how dystopian worlds are. So I'm really excited to read that because I know it's like pretty popular too. That and like I always wanted to read Uglies, that like book, but I watched the movie and I just didn't like it. So next I have The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is like the series that she did before the Inheritance Games, and I've heard that this is like really good. A lot of people say it's better than the Inheritance Games. I don't know about that. It's basically like Criminal Minds but like kids. Like literally like kids are tasked to like solve FBI cold cases, and I think they're like either really smart or they have some kind of powers or something. Like they're all just kind of like little Spencer Reeds, and I've heard really good things about it. I mean, like I've heard good things about it and I liked, so yeah, like I said, I've heard good things about it and I liked the Inheritance Games, so I think like it'll be interesting to read. It's like, I always love to like read older books by authors that I like liked their newer books of, because like sometimes they're just like so much worse, but sometimes they're like just as good, you know? Anyway, next I have Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, and this is the second book in the Dance of Thieves duology, and this is like, obviously I put Dance of Thieves in my last book haul, but this one is the second one, so I just think that's interesting. Like I said already, like just fun to like see everything like that. But yeah, so you have Vow of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, and basically Dance of Thieves is about a thief and like a prince. They're falling in love. And I'm hoping that this one picks up like right where Dance of Thieves leave off, but I'm hoping that this one picks up right where Dance of Thieves left off, but I'm not entirely sure if it will. I also don't really remember where Dance of Thieves left off, so anyway, moving on. Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. So this is the trilogy after Caraval, and it has some of the same characters in there, and that's why they say like read Caraval first, so I have to finish that before I read this. But I did buy it because I was like, I want to own it, I don't want to forget about it, like I really want to read it because I've heard such good things about this. I also know people like don't necessarily wait to read Caraval to like read this one. I know there's a lot of people that read this and didn't read Caraval, but if you ever want to read that series, I think that this series spoils that series, so that's why they tell you to read it first. So I'm definitely gonna finish that before I start that. And then last on the YA is Icon and Inferno by Marie Lu. If you know anything about me, Marie Lu is my girl. I love her. I'm ride or die for Marie Lu. Let's talk about it, okay? I love her. I think she's great. This is the second book in the Stars and Smoke, I guess, duology. Basically, Stars and Smoke and this one follows Sydney, who is a secret agent tasked with following Winter, who is like a superstar in this world. And it's like, I think the most real book that she's written. Like usually she writes like dystopian books, like kind of out there, maybe fantasy. I think she's written one or two of those too, and like I think that this is fun. This is great. There's a romance aspect in there, there's, you know, mystery, there's fighting. It's great. I love it. It's a good time. So, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that this book is a year later after Stars and Smoke. We're in like kind of the home stretch. I feel like we have like 10 books left. This next collection of books is fantasy. Some of it may be YA, I'm just not entirely sure, but we'll see. So the first thing that we have is Apprentice to the Villain, and this has like the sprayed edges. This is by Hannah Nicole Mayer, and this is like the Barnes & Noble exclusive. This is the second book in the just like I think it's Assistant to the Villain series, and the first book is about a girl named Evie who has a run-in with like this villain of this fantasy world, and like basically kind of gets hired to like work for him. And there's like a mystery aspect because someone is clearly telling the king of this world like what the villain is doing and like what his next moves are. So he's trying to find like the rat basically, and like Evie helps him with that, and there's also a romance. But I always say, like, go into this, don't think it's like a really well thought out like fantasy world. Go into this thinking that it's a rom-com with a little bit of magic and fantasy element, because that's exactly what it is. It's funny, the romance is good, but it is not a fully developed fantasy series. I mean, like, for example, I just said like there's like a villain of this world, and like you like that's it all you know. Like you don't know why he's a villain, you don't know what he did, you don't know what is going on. Like he's just the villain. There's not really a lot in depth into like the magical world and stuff, but like I just thought it was good. Like I said, you just have to separate it from being like a well thought out fantasy and just think of it as like a rom-com with fantasy elements. It's like magical realism. Like the magic and magical realisms never make sense, but you just go with it because that's a genre. That's what I'm talking about with this. Next we have City of Bones by Cassandra Clare, and this is the first book in the Mortal Instruments series. I don't know. I really wanted to get into like this world because I know it's a lot of books, and I really wanted to like try and read them. I just don't know. I've also just heard good things about this, like just good things about the story. It's just not entirely sure what it's about. A girl witnesses a murder, and it's shadow hunters are the people that murdered, and basically I think there's a romance in here, and I've just heard good things about it. I don't know, and I've always just wanted to get into that world, so that's all I really have to say about that. Next up we have a very anticipated read. Sorry, I have these all on my lap and they're like falling everywhere, but it is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. If you are in the reading community, you know about the Empyrean series. You know that this book just came out and I'm so excited about it. Basically, well, Fourth Wing is the first book in this series, and this is the third one. Fourth Wing is about a girl named Violet who wants to be a scribe in this world where she has to like go to school to like be something in this like fantasy world, and like basically she wants to be a scribe. She's very weak, and her mom is like the general of the like riders and like the war, and basically says, no, you're gonna be a rider, a dragon rider. So she goes to the like war college and becomes a dragon rider basically, and there's a heavy romance in there, and it was just really good. And I have the hardcovers for all the other books, that's why I got the hardcover for Onyx Storm, but also I just wanted like the sprayed edges. I just think it's really pretty. Anyway, this is another world that I really want to get into, and it's the like Brandon Sanderson universe. So I'm starting with Mistborn, which is the first book in the Mistborn original trilogy. That's what it says. I've heard really good things about this world. I've heard good things, like I've heard people saying like you should start with this book if you want to get into Brandon Sanderson. So yeah, no idea what this book's about though. Next I have 2 Olivie Blake books, and I love Olivie Blake. One I have is One for My Enemy, which is I don't think it's a fantasy. I do think it's like magical realism or something, but it's basically like, maybe it is fantasy? I don't know. It's like it's literally an enemies to lovers. I mean, it's called One for My Enemy, but it's an enemies to lovers, like rival families, like that type situation, and it's set in modern day New York City, and the cover is just so pretty, and I love Olivie Blake. I say this, like I love Olivie Blake. I've only ever read one of her traditionally published books, and it's The Atlas Six. I never continued that series. I mean, I'm going to. I just haven't gotten to it. And I always am like, I love Olivie Blake. I love her. I liked reading her Hermione fanfictions, okay? I love her traditionally published books, but I'm talking like I know her and I love her from Hermione fanfics. Like I read Marked, Clean, like that series. So good. And then she traditionally published The Atlas Six, and I read that and I was like obsessed from there. So I've just been collecting all the books that she's written, and I don't even think I have all of them. Like I have One for My Enemy, I have Masters of Death here, which is the exclusive edition, I think. It's got sprayed edges, I know that, and it's like about a vampire who's a real estate agent, and the house she needs to sell is haunted, and she falls in love with this guy who is a medium, and is actually not a medium, he's a fraud, but he's the godson of death. So sounds really good. But anyway, I have all these books by her, and I've only ever read one like that was traditionally published, but I'm still obsessed with her. I have those 2. I have the whole Atlas Six trilogy. I have Alone with You in the Ether, which I think is all she's written, but I'm not sure. Let's actually look it up together. She has she has books that are like in a different name. Like she has regular contemporary romances in a different name. That's why I don't have them, because I didn't know that she wrote them. Anyway, last on the fantasy, like I said, these categories are loose. They're loosey-goosey, okay? It's Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas, and I put in my last book haul like literally every other book, and I might have said this before. I mean, you might have also not seen it, but if you want to go watch it, there's also another one on there too. Also, this book is huge. That this book in Barnes is like $3 more or $2 more than the other books, and this book on Amazon is like way cheaper than it is in Barnes, whereas like most of the time I buy books in Barnes because with the discount that you get with like the membership stuff, it's cheaper, or it's the same price to buy them in Barnes than to just order them on Amazon, but this one was way cheaper, so I didn't buy this in the store, and then I was like, I'm just gonna wait until I get to it to buy it and like read it, but I got it for Christmas, so I'm super excited about it. It's just a gigantic book, like literally I think it's like 1,000 pages or something. Almost. Yeah, really exciting stuff, guys. Okay, now we're on the last little bit. This is the real home stretch, guys. Okay, I think that this is gonna be like a 30-minute video, literally. Okay, so on the very top here we have this book called Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, and this is just, I think this is like a mystery comedy. Like basically this guy's entire family is just a family made up of murderers, and I think that this is like the everyone in the family that has killed someone and like how it happened basically. So I think that that's cool. I also saw that it said like it's kind of like Knives Out plot twisty, which I really liked that movie, so I'm excited about that. And then we have Such a Lovely Family by Aggie Blum Thompson. This is a bit of an odd one. This is a mystery thriller, and basically like someone gets murdered, and then like basically you kind of like get into this family and like how they seem so like fun and happy and like just very loving on the outside, and there's a lot of like secrets on the inside. Very typical family, honestly. Okay, next I have Leave the World Behind by Ruman Alam. I don't know. I'm not gonna try and butcher it. And it has a big fat permanent Netflix sticker on it, which is just so exciting. But it says coming to Netflix, but it's like totally already on Netflix. I don't know why. I think this is maybe just like an older copy of the book. I don't know. It's a very short book, and I watched the movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to read the book now, because like, I don't know, maybe there's more. Oh my god, there's a bookmark in here. Not that I read it, but I think this is, oh yeah, it's just one of the Barnes ones. But yeah, I just wanted to like read the book because the movie was good, and I think like the book would be super interesting. And this cover would be beautiful if it didn't have a big fat ugly Netflix sticker on it. I hate permanent stickers. They're so unnecessary, like literally so unnecessary. Anyway, next I have The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. I think this is YA. This is definitely sci-fi. This is just about a girl who is in space, and she's completely alone, but then she starts sending messages back and forth with this person named Jay, and she's kind of like scared because like she's been alone for so long, and then all of a sudden she's not. And I think it's a love story, but it's also YA. So next, this is also YA. This is called This Mortal Coil by Emily Suvada. This is about gene manipulation, and like basically that is so funny. Her name is Katerina Agata, like AGATTA, like genetic code. That's crazy. Basically Kat is like a genetic hacker, and she kind of like, this is dystopian, I believe, or sci-fi, one of the two. I'm not really, like, I know what the difference is, I really do, but like when they blend together, and like I'm just confused. Yeah, I don't know. There's a romance in here. It just sounds good. I'm not entirely sure. Next we have The Wishing Game, which if you guys know anything, like this was like a really popular pick. This is by Meg Schaefer, and this is about a girl who is like really in love with this book series, and she gets invited to like go join the author on this island. She meets this guy, and basically like there's a mystery, and the mystery is finding out what happens at the end of the last book that the author is ever gonna write. So I also think it's a romance, but I could be wrong. It could be like very romance subplot. If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This is a dark academia book about students who, like someone's killed and they have to basically convince everyone, including themselves, that they're innocent. And it's kind of just like gonna recount all of that. It's like very Secret History-esque, which I really, really loved that book, so. And then last, but certainly not least, is The Ministry of Time by Kaylee Ann Bradley. I am so excited to read this, like genuinely so excited. I've heard such good things about it. It's like romance subplot, there's like a time war thing going on, and basically like it's giving like the TVA a little bit from Loki, where like these people are managing time. They're managing like the events of history, and like the main character is managing a certain event in history, and she ends up falling in love while managing that event. And I just like, I think that's what it's about, but I've just heard such good things about it, like genuinely such good things, that like I am so excited to read that. Anyway, we're done. That's all I have to show you. With all that being said, let me know any thoughts. If you think there's a book that's like so good and you're like, you need to move that to the top of your TBR list, like let me know. I'm sure that all of these books some way or another will be scattered through wrap-ups, reading vlogs, definitely on my Goodreads, which you should definitely go check that out, and Fable. I post pretty regularly on both those platforms, so you should definitely go check that out. If you want to subscribe to me, if you're not already, you should totally do that so that you don't miss out on hearing my thoughts on any of these books, because you know, if you see a book that you're like, oh, I've been wanting to read that, I want to hear someone talk about it, or oh, that is my most favorite book, I want to hear someone else talk about it, you should definitely subscribe so that you can get more of just that, more insight on books. I'm gonna try and be super helpful when I give reviews of them when I end up reading them, but who knows. So Anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping because this video has probably been so long, and I'm just gonna say I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave comments down below. I usually say give me book recommendations, but I think I need to put myself on a book buying ban. We both know that's not gonna happen, but anyway, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!